Northwest Stadium was packed with roaring Lion fans that got exactly what they wanted. A statement win and a little payback.
I think all of us want to win, and we're not executing enough to win.
The Lions dominated from start to finish, torching the Commanders 44-22 in a complete team performance. For the Commanders, this was a must-win game that quickly slipped away.
Where we missed, there's like a gap that's taking place, and that's, like I said, it's everybody.
It really doesn't matter who's out there. Everybody, there should never be a drop-off because of how well we do prepare. Just when it comes to the games, we just have to, produce and let our preparation show.
The offense sputtered and the defense collapsed, and the identity of this team remains a mystery.
Practice and the preparation, I thought last week hit the mark. Performance did.
The Lions piled up 546 total yards, scoring on 8 of their 9 possessions, while the Commanders' defense looked completely outmatched. Now staring at 5 straight losses and a 3-7 record, the Commanders are officially in crisis mode. It's back to the drawing boards. Tough times right now, for sure. And next up, the Dolphins in Madrid. Plenty to unpack this week on Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus.
The man is back, y'all. We're back. Call your mama, call your daddy. We're back and we're back. We're back. Tony McGee, back, y'all. We're back. Tony McGee. Come on. Tony McGee, Pro Football Plus. Tony McGee, Pro Football Plus. Tony McGee, Pro Football Plus. Tony McGee.
People don't know the real story of what happened.
It was an unbelievable series of events and an unbelievable time.
Their championship was taken away from them in 1969. We are living in their championship now.
50-some years later, good is coming from it. They are impacting state after state after state after state.
And we're going to show the world how to love.
Crystal City Sports Pub, located in the heart of National Landing, is ranked one of the top 20 sports bars in the country. We are open 365 days a year. Crystal City Sports Pub, with its laid-back atmosphere, is the place to be. We offer 3 levels, over 100 TVs, an 18-foot video wall, pool tables, 3 full bars featuring 11 beers on tap, an extensive menu, and super friendly staff. We offer on- and off-site catering and ample space to host private parties and gatherings. Come experience Crystal City Sports Pub. It is the place to be.
Welcome to Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus. I'm not coming to you acting like I'm happy. I'm not coming to you acting like I'm sad. I'm coming to you to tell the truth. And right now, this team is not very good. You could talk a lot of stuff about, oh, they got injuries, they got this, but how can you tell me that one of your leading players, when you've lost so many, get kicked out of the game? How can you tell me that when you have crucial plays, you're jumping offside? How can you tell me when you finally do something good as an offensive line, then you do something bad? How can you tell me that Gary Clark was the best receiver on the field? He didn't play. I don't know what's happening, but we're going to find out in this. And we're taking the gloves off. So all of you fans, put the kids to bed because this could get ugly. I done bought in some horses here. Donna, you was there. You had to tell us about it. Big Zoe, I know you itching to tell us. Michael, then we bought in Mike. He's the man that's always there. Not that Mike. Let's bring another Mike here.
Mike Jones.
Hey, Michael, I'm going to start with you today, man. And we usually start with the offense. I'm starting with the defense. I know they have a lot of injuries, but now it's looking like they don't have a lot of talent.
No, I think you're exactly right. And that was my biggest concern coming into the season. When I looked at it, I was like, they did not really have any impactful pass rushers. I was concerned about the secondary because I didn't believe that Marshawn Lattimore was a true number one cornerback that still had enough in the tank to get it done. And then my real concern was the pass rushing. And sure enough, they can't get to the quarterback very well. And, and then, like you said, when you've got, your best defensive lineman, the guy in the trenches getting ejected, when you need all the help you can possibly get, it just is a bad look, a lack of discipline on top of the lack of talent, and you have no chance of success.
You know what? And I'm not going to take that. Oh, he was fired if he wanted to play. I played for 14 years and never got kicked out of the game. And it was many times I was angry. I can't go for that. When you know that this is a big game and you are really the one hope to have something going on the inside, and you go hit somebody right in front of an official, and you wanted to get out of the game. But with that being said, he wasn't the only one. Look at our player of the week, Bobby Wagner, doing all he can. These defensive backs, they just disappearing. We can't just keep talking about them. As I said last week, this isn't high school. They play like high school. This is in college. They play like college. When they're paying these individuals, they're paying them a lot of money that a lot of people would love to get. You should at least do your job. And Donna, I don't want to hear that we got some things to change. They got a lot to do. And you know what? I don't know if it doesn't, maybe it does come into coaching as well.
Hey, Tony, they do have a lot of things to change because Coach Quinn at his Monday presser said that he will be taking over the reins as the defensive coordinator from Joe Witt. And I think that they're trying to look at every avenue they can to get this broken defense that yielded, Tony, 546 yards to the Commanders' 228. You can't win games where you're giving up almost 30 points a game. And so Coach Quinn is looking at, hey, what are the things that we can do? Because this defense has gone from bad to worse to in the bottom of the tank, Tony, because the way that they played the last 4 games, and even more so this game against Detroit, where Dan Campbell, he became the offensive coordinator because they weren't getting things done either. So you see what happened to him, Tony. But before, you spin it around to everybody else, let's go into the locker room, Tony, to hear what the players had to say about this game and trying to turn the pages. 5-game skid, Tony. Not looking good for this Commanders team. Hey, John, this has to be tough as far as trying to get off this skid. Just talk a little bit about this game.
Yeah, I think we had opportunities on offense and defense to make plays, and we were able to some drives, and some drives we weren't able to execute. And so I think it's just a matter of not being able to be on a wave of ups and downs, but just finding a sense of consistency throughout the game.
How do you get past this to turn the page? I know we ask that each week.
Yeah, just keep working. I think, as you can see, we got a group of guys that are going to fight the entire game, all 4 quarters. And so, like I said, I think it's just finding a consistency throughout the game and being able to keep building throughout the game and not being up and down.
Jalen, this is another tough loss for this team, 5 in a row. Talk to me about this game as far as how do you get over this?
We just got to just stay together, keep going. I've had experiences where, we've been on teams where we just, we go on these kind of losing skids. But I think we just got to just continue to, not point the finger, stay together, because I feel like we got a strong brotherhood in this locker room. But ultimately, we just got to just play better. That's what it boils down to.
What did Coach Quinn's message at halftime for this team?
He was, just talk about being disciplined and also just being aggressive. Like, he didn't want us to lose our edge and things like that.
Ain't too much you can say. At the end of the day, we just got to buckle up and play some ball.
Tough loss for this team, but you've been able to come in and help this offense out, especially today. You got some balls in your hands. Just talk about that.
Just my name was called. Got a couple opportunities and just took advantage of it. Made the most out of them.
It's tough as far as just where this team is right now. What is the message you think from Coach Quinn to stay together and hopefully turn the page soon?
Yeah, you said it. Just need to stay together. Everybody goes through certain moments. It's about how you come up out of it, and I think that we're doing a good job of keep pushing in and, just continue to develop, do the minor details, and, everything else will take care of itself.
Hey, Mikey, you know this locker room. What is the message from Coach Quinn as far as for you to move ahead?
Just, finding that connection. Finding ways to make sure that when we're out there, everybody's playing as a unit, whether it's defense playing as a unit, offense playing as a unit, special teams playing as a unit, and then everybody just feeding off each other's energy and just, just having energy creating football, celebrating each other's success, and, just like I said, just making sure that connection is very strong because we believe that the best part of our team is our team, and that has to show.
Hey, Tony, if you was to tell me going into this season that this defense would be this bad, I would be saying, Tony, you got to be joking. But this team is pretty bad on the defensive end because they lost another player at the cornerback room, a Trey Amos, fibia injury. So they are depleted in the cornerback room. And that's this, you look at this team, they are in trouble on the defensive side, but hopefully Coach Quinn being the play caller can help this team out some way.
Well, you know what? Let's go back and take a look at this. We kind of knew this was going to transpire during the beginning of the year, but we thought they had an opportunity because they began playing well in the beginning. One thing that is good right now that we need to kind of bring to the point is they're still not as bad as their record is. They're not out of it because it's not a lot of consistency around the whole league this year. All the teams that are supposed to be big teams and they're not supposed to lose, they're losing. If this team get on a nice little run, they still make it. Not concerned with that right now. I'm concerned with improvement. That's what I don't like. When you see them at the beginning of the year, one of the things we said was they may not be as talented, but they do their job. Mike, it looks like now they're not getting those jobs done on defense or offense. Defense is really just a rarity because they're no longer cannot even see the quarterback, and a lot of times they're not controlling the line of scrimmage.
Well, Tony, I'm assuming it's me, and defensively, Don is right. 28th against the pass, 28th against the run, and 28th on give and take. And so I decided today to look up Greg Williams, who was the last defensive coordinator that had the team number 2 in the NFL. He is the defensive coordinator at Tennessee State University. He's available, and he's only 67 years old, Tony. So I don't know. He was the defensive coordinator for the Super Bowl for the Saints. And, of course, he was here with Joe Gibbs, and he had the defense ranked rather highly. But, I mean, Don is absolutely right. When you give up all those yards, it's pathetic. I thought the one stat, and I think I saw this from Mike Jones, was I think this is the 4th game, Mike, where they have given up over 20 points, and that is the last time this team did that was 1954, before Tony and I were born.
Yeah, how many people you think gonna believe that? But it was a very good question, Michael. You know what, Mike? You've been in the booth with us a long time, and you've seen that. That game the other day was possibly one of the worst games I've seen a Washington team play. Would you say that?
Yeah, I think that, you were hoping that this team could rally and show some fight and kind of claw their way back. But it seems like each week they are just coming really, the drive is not there. And it almost seems like they're giving up. And again, when you have your leaders taking themselves out of the game with foolishness and lack of discipline and professionalism, how are the young guys supposed to follow along and continue to fight? And it just seemed like you could tell, it felt like the Lions had kind of called off the dogs and they were just trying to run out the clock, and they're here ripping off, 50, 60-yard runs when, they were trying to, take it easy on them. It was like the Commanders were like, no, come beat us up a little bit more. Come on, Gibbs, rack up some more yards on us. It just was very embarrassing.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to take a break now, though I haven't forgotten about the defense. You got a little few things to say about it. Plus, you got some people that want to ask us a question. When we come back, we will stand up and take those questions, but with our back turned because we're ashamed. We'll be back in a moment.
Hi,
welcome home. It's Michelle Van Allen from Van Allen Real Estate. I am over 20 years experienced in this real estate game. We all know that right now in this market takes an experienced agent to get you what you need. All of you sellers, if you're considering putting your house on the market, please give me a call. I'd be more than happy to sit down and talk to you to find out where you place in this market. Hey, you first-time home buyers, remember, right now is the perfect time. It's a buyer's market to get you into your first dream home. Hey, you investors, this is an amazing time to invest. If you ever thought about it, give me a call. We can talk about it. We can talk about specific properties that are on your radar and mine. Give me a call. I'd be more than happy to welcome you into the Van Allen Real Estate team. I look forward to talking to you soon.
You know, when we played back, and not maybe when Gary Clark played, so I'm gonna ask him a little question. Whenever we signed the contract, we didn't sign it and think we were millionaires because they immediately went and found us a job for the off season. You know, you take a look at now how these young men the manifestation of football has made it just unreal. My whole team, when I first came in, the whole team made $2 million. Now people make that as bonuses and things. And I think when you do things like that, you're supposed to be the person. Like they bring in some cornerbacks. And I'm going to go to my wide receiver that's beat every cornerback he's faced. These guys, I've never seen as many cornerbacks that when the guy's catching the pass, they're nowhere around. But as soon as they knock a ball down, they pointing at themselves. I just don't know where our defensive back. Do you think they're getting wrong reads? Are we playing too much man? Maybe we should be playing a little more zone. Give me your thoughts on that, because I just felt like if it weren't for one guy the other day, we had no receivers out there.
I really just think that they don't really work on their craft. I don't think that they go out and put in the work after practice to make themselves a better football player. I think that's probably around the whole entire team, quite honestly. Finding out that those guys don't stay after practice to put in the work to make themselves spectacular, to make themselves amazing, to make themselves the best player in the league, because that's what you should always be striving for at your position, is to be the best player in the league at your position. And if you're not striving for that, then I don't know why you're playing the game, quite honestly. I mean, every time you're going to get cut because you're not putting up numbers. You're not putting up, you're not doing the things that you need to do at your position. It's just that simple. I mean, people can make up excuses for you all day long. And, when you're coming off after you had a horrible run at a defense, you're coming off and you're dapping people. Like, why? There's no, don't shake my hand. I don't want anybody to shake my hand if I screwed up. Why? I don't need a pat on the back when I do something bad. Why? I don't want that. You should discipline me. Say something to me. Curse me out if I deserve it.
Right.
At the end of the day, but that's what you have to do. They are not playing good football. Anytime you come out and you're an embarrassment, you're embarrassed. It's just bad. I don't get it. Like, for me to be upset, and I don't even play anymore, but for me to be upset at the way that they're playing football these last few weeks is just ridiculous. It's like,
that's why you've been working out so much, man. You want to tell us what's going on? You working out for a reason or what?
I don't think they're putting in the time to make yourself a better football player. It's really simple. Like, if you're going to be great at your job, you got to put in the time to be great at your job. I don't care what your job is, what industry you're in. If you don't put in the time to be great at it, you're not going to be great at it. And right now, that's what it looks like to me. They're not great at their jobs, and it could be just because of the way that, and when you got coaches or the former players and you're still not great at your job, then there's something that needs to be done. I don't know. I would need to be inside the organization to see what's going on, to have a better understanding of why they're playing this way or why they're doing that. But at some point in time, somebody needs to stand up and be like, "You're playing like shit, and if you keep playing, I'm going to cut you." It's just that simple. Like that's the only measurement that's going to come into play. Somebody needs to be cut before everybody else has a wake up call.
Yeah. And you know what the thing about it,
the salary cap. I don't care about the salary cap. Damn the salary cap.
Yeah.
Because right now and now, especially now, if I'm a coach, because at the end of the day, they're only going to keep you if your record allows you to stay there. You know, and I don't think it's the coach's fault. I'm not blaming the coaches, quite honestly. I don't think it's the coach's fault. I mean, the strategy they gave them before, if you don't make yourself a better player each and every week, each and every game, that's on you. That's not on the coach. Because all they're doing is giving you a strategy. It's up to your job. If I'm a defensive lineman, my job is to get to the quarterback when the quarterback is dropping back. That's my job. So if I got one move and that's all I got, I'm not going to be in the league too long. I want to tell you, you one of the best rushers in NFL history. You had more than one move. You have multiple moves because at the end of the day, people watch film. When they watch film, I should say video on you now. They watch what you do. If you don't change it up ever, then that's a problem. That's just a problem. I mean, it's an embarrassment it's an embarrassment to the Burgundy and Gold, quite honestly, the way these guys are playing. Like, I have a feeling, and I don't know if for sure, but did that other team even punt once?
No.
Not at the beginning.
No.
How do you go through a game and the team never ever punts?
Because they didn't have to.
That's just an embarrassment.
Gary, it was 8. Because the second, I think, his name wasn't even called. But hey, Tony, you know it's got to be bad if Gary is talking like that because
you know what?
He's fired up.
You're right, and that Get G, that was a great segment because you know you bought it, and you know I'm gonna bring it in a different way too. You just what you said, they're not working on their craft, and at the same time, even if they were trying to improve what they could do now, we would be happy. Big Solomon, you tell me this. When you played basketball, and you 6'7", but you went against centers that were 6'8", 6'9", you knew you had to face up to them. Our offense and defensive line, I do never see them playing on the other line side of the ball. They're always getting knocked off the ball or stalemated at the line of scrimmage. Am I seeing something that's not happening? Are you seeing that as well?
Dad, you don't have to put your glasses on. And first of all, thank you, Mr. Clark. They're not as fired up as much as Mr. Clark is. And that's what I said. We don't need to sugarcoat it no more. It was an oath given on halftime. I'm giving an oath today. I promise to tell the truth about how bad we are. Dad, they don't work on their craft like G said. So how can you know how to get on the other side of the field if you don't work on your craft? And I'm going to just be honest. The biggest thing, like G said, is they don't have to look over their shoulder, Pops. They're getting spoiled since college. Now that they can pay these kids in college and they're already millionaires before they even play down in the game, they don't really care about their craft. And then evidently the coaches don't care because with my sport, it's 14 players. Dad knows and everybody knows you're looking over your shoulder. So you're playing a good game and you're working hard because you know there's somebody, the coach is ready to yank you. For some reason, I don't know what Dan Quinn is doing, but they are still relying on the same players to make the same mistake. And let me show you something. Coach Witt, whether you're sitting down or you standing up, it don't matter. The defense is terrible. You could be on the field, you could be sitting down, standing up. It don't matter. So
what about injuries? Is injuries or just to play?
That's another thing is we were already not a good team on defense, and then we had key injuries to a team that wasn't that good in the first place on defense. So now, like Gary said, we're just looking terrible, Pops. I could just say on every line, I mean, Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louisville, they're having to play the whole game because just like Mike made a reference to Mike Baker, they don't want to give any other linebackers a chance. Like the McGee kid, they don't want to use backup. So, Dad, it's not looking too good at all.
Well, actually, Solomon, Tony, wait a minute. Actually, Jordan McGee has been in the last 2 weeks, him and Tyler Arms, because they've been playing a 5-man front and so forth, going backwards because they knew a couple of weeks ago that they had to get some speed on there. Jordan McGee, if you watch that game, he was in most of the time. He was in last week, this week also. But Solomon, I think you and Gary just hit it. They're not a good team. Injuries have hurt them, Tony, a lot because they're down 4 cornerbacks now. They're down defensive linemen. But still, Tony, the way they're losing games, the ugliness of the game, the effort and so forth is what I'm seeing that's not there. I can go into a game and you lose a game, but if I see that you're not giving up 30 points per game, you're getting beat by 3 touchdowns each week for the last 4 games or 5 games that you've been on this skid, and then to give up 500 and almost 600 yards in one game. Last week you gave up 400 and something, but it's the way that this team, and hopefully with Coach Quinn, we're going to see. I mean, he's got a lot of people down, but his play calling may make the difference. But Tony, back to the offensive side a little bit. You cannot just rely on the receivers that have been depleted because they brought in Burke. He came in and he was the leading receiver on Sunday, but 27 attempts and 93 yards. It's not going to get it done. You know you're going to have to run the game to help this offensive side of the ball. And Kingsbury is pass happy and with a receiving core that's depleted to a certain degree. And you got to be able to run the ball each week, and they don't do that. The Lions, 226 yards, Tony. They just torch people. And the Commanders don't, to me, put the players to a certain degree with the injuries in good position.
Well, you know, we're going to talk about that when we come back for the simple reason we've been on the defense. The offense hasn't been raising no point either.
Exactly.
With that being said, if you take a look at it, I mean, it's just the whole thing, even special teams. So when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more. Mike, I'm going to be asking you right away. You up in that booth when you see it. Tell us what you see with this offense, but hold your thoughts. It's too much heat on this air anyway. Turn down the temperature down, and we'll be back in a moment.
Nope.
People don't know the real story of what happened.
It was an unbelievable series of events and an unbelievable time.
Their championship was taken away from them in 1969. We are living in their championship now.
50 some years later, good is coming from it. They are impacting state after state after state after state.
And we're going to show the world how to love.
Looking for top-notch sports officials who know the game inside and out? The Greater Potomac Officials Association, GPOA, proudly serves the military community throughout our region, with nearly 90% of our officials being military retirees, active duty service members, or guardsmen. We bring unmatched discipline, professionalism, and integrity to every contest. From youth leads to adult alumni, our officials cover it all. Want to learn more about GPOA or bring our officials to your program? Contact owner and CEO Earl Taylor III at 202-498-2032 or email him at gr8rpotomac@comcast.net.
Now, you know, it is true that there are a lot of injuries, and, you know, injuries are things that happen. It's either sometimes you're blessed to have them, not have them, and sometimes you're blessed to have them. Gary know very well in his Super Bowls, people were hurt. The one before that, when Art was hurt, we had another guy come in and he filled in. And I guess what I'm trying to say here is nobody out there that's on the field that don't get paid on Monday. So if they're not going to play on Sunday, they need to be just like the government. Don't take a check. I mean, you're out there just jacking around, you know, and people looking for jobs. So if you don't want to do your job, you know what? Go find one somewhere else. And like I said, we used to give apples and road maps. Now we're just giving road maps. You need to get on out of here. But with that being said, Mike, injuries are a big deal, but that is not the total reason this team is not clicking. We said a while back, you need a bell cow when you're going to have a Super Bowl team.
Yeah, Tony, the thing about the injuries is this. I look across the country at San Francisco where they're missing Brock Purdy. They're missing Brandon Ayuk. They're missing offensive linemen. They're missing top defensive players, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner. The injuries just keep on popping up for them. But their offense, Kyle Shanahan and them are finding a way to get it done. They've got Mac Jones, the backup quarterback, and he's playing great. They've got Christian McCaffrey, who is doing everything, whether he's got like 600 rushing yards and 600 receiving yards. So I think your point about not having a bell cow is very true. They don't have a running back that can do a little bit of everything. They don't have a wide receiver who can take over the games, but they also don't have a coaching staff that's showing the creativity that's able to mask those deficiencies and put the healthy players that they do have in position for success, like we're seeing going on in San Francisco. San Francisco has got a winning record despite rampant injuries, just as many injuries as Washington. Washington can't find a way to get it done. So you can't really, yes, it's injuries. Every team deals with injuries. Look at Tampa Bay down there. Todd Bowles is down there. They've got injuries across their offensive line. They don't have Chris Godwin. They don't have Mike Evans. But Baker Mayfield is finding a way to get it done. So there's a lot of teams that are dealing with injuries, but there's some other ingredient that's missing there. I don't know if it's a lack of creativity, unpredictability, or maybe all of the above. But the injuries are just, it's something that you can't really point to for why this team's playing so poorly.
And G-Man, I want to ask you this, and this is an important one because I know injuries are important, and I kind of played it down then, but I do think the injury to Terry is so devastating to this team. And do you think he'll ever, you played hurt, and you played with bad groins. He has that injury. Do you think he can come along enough to help this team during the course of this season?
I think it just really comes down to your pain tolerance, and understanding the injury, because if it's a new injury that he's never had before, sometimes it takes just an understanding of getting used to an injury you never had before, especially when it's a muscle tear. When I had my groin injury, when I first had my hamstring injury, it took me a while because I'm not used to my muscle doing this. So it took me a while to get used to just knowing that that's what it's doing, but I can still play through it. So Terry, it's a new injury. It's something that, he may not be able to play through. It may be something he is able to play through. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, it's the scouting department's obligation to find players that are good or better than your starters. Think about it. The majority of people that play in the NFL who become stars, they didn't start off as stars. They started off as second team, next to the player. But that person who was first team was looking over their shoulder because they knew how good that person was. Like, I didn't start when I first came to Washington. I wanted to start. Because I wanted to start, I put pressure on the starter. And he damn sure was looking over his shoulder because it took me 5 games before I did become the starter full time. But I didn't start off that way. I was a second team player. So injuries, all of that, it happens. It happens to everybody. I don't care. That doesn't mean that you should be a less of a better football team just because you have somebody injured. I don't give a shit who it is.
Yeah.
I don't care. We had one of our best receivers in NFL history get hurt. We did not miss a beat.
Yeah.
There you go.
We didn't miss a beat, not one beat. So when you got players who is just as good or better than your starters, you win football games. Injury is never a problem. That's why it'd be one thing if you only had 22 players on the team and you had an injury. That's one thing. But that's not true. We know we have multiple players on the team. So if a man goes down, the next man comes up, and now the starter who went down, now he's looking to see how he's going to get his job back. And that's what makes you really good. Competition among your players makes you good. But if I can look over my shoulder and I don't worry about the person who's backing me up, like I'll be like, you can't never take my job ever.
Right.
Then that's the problem. That means that the scouting department didn't do a good job in finding the right players, because at the end of the day, injury should never be a reason why you lose a football game. To me, that's
never should be. And you're 100% right. And G said that right. I remember when I first came to the league, our first game was Pittsburgh, and Joe Green and all of them was over there, and they was a championship team, and I just wanted to get in and play. And that's how you know when the game's going to flow. Me and this big defensive tackle, we was out there working hard before the game, and my coach said, "Hey, come over here." We ran over there. We thought he'd getting ready to tell us we going in. He said, "See that band out there?" We said, "Yeah." He said, "They'll play before you." So that's the kind of attitude our coaches had. If you were hurt all the time, then you got well for one day, they put your butt on film and then they cut you the next one. There's no fear like that right now. All the players know, and I'm going to come to you, Donna, because you're around a lot of them, high school, college, whatever. Now they know they can walk in, just as Solomon said, and be millionaires. And I think that is deterring the talent on all professional and NFL teams.
Yeah, Tony, I think Gary even hit it too, where he said the scouting team, you should not miss a beat, because you should have the next guy up. And they preach competition is what they said as far as training camp and all that. But I think Mike Jones hit it right on too, Tony. The coordinators, the coaches, they should be able to make adjustments on the fly. Dan Campbell did it, and some of the other coaches that have come up against them. And I think that, to me, those adjustments on the fly is what's not taking place also. So I know Gary said it's the players and not so much the coaches, but I think it's the whole team mixed together. You can't take one without the other. But what we can take, Tony, is the sports bar challenge. Well, not the sports bar, the sports challenge that's heating up, because, Tony, they are getting right. So let's go to find out who's on the leaderboard.
Amen.
And look at here, Sports Football Challenge. Crystal City Pub is at 911. They got to get back on the other side, along with the Glory Days, also 911. And GPOA, our new guys, the officiating crew in the greater Potomac, Washington area, 11 and 9. And then Crystal City Restaurant over there with Billy, 10 and 10. And then Van Allen Real Estate, one of our newcomers. They are 10 and 10. So, Solomon, I want to go right to you as far as the Chargers and the Steelers on Sunday night in that game. Everybody thought that the Steelers was going to be able to turn it around, but the Chargers came through and they really took it to the Steelers. What are you seeing in this Chargers team?
Well, I mean, they're a good team. It's just they can't protect their quarterback. So, and it just that so happened that night they were to protect him, and that's actually why I felt like they were going to beat the Steelers, and I picked the Chargers. But they're a good team, but they just having a problem with protecting the quarterback. And I just felt like I just don't know if Pittsburgh has enough offense right now. So their receivers aren't really breaking out. So I just felt good about the Chargers for that game.
Well, the Monday night game is going to be a good one. The Eagles are taking on the Packers. I'm going to hit everybody on that one, but Mike Baker, I'm going to start with you. Can the Packers bounce back and beat the Eagles, or the Eagles just got too many weapons there?
Well, if you're asking me, man, I'm telling you, I got Eagles family members. I got to pick the Eagles. That Jeff Lurie doesn't mind spending money. I talked about this last week. They went out. Not only did they get Jalen, Jalen Phillips, is it? And they got him for a third-round pick from Miami. He's a great pass rusher. I think he's an all-pro. They went out and got 2 more cornerbacks. They knew the defense was a weakness. I think they've got 2 of the best receivers in the NFL. They've got a great running back in Barkley. My gosh, this team is just going to crush all the way through. They're going to go right back to the Super Bowl.
Hey, Tony, is Mike talking garbage, pertaining to the Eagles. Do the Packers have a chance?
Yeah, the Packers have a chance, and they're still a learning team. And, I'm going to do this quick because we got to go to our picks next, and I want to see if any of you guys have a chance. But the same thing is, I think the Packers are a team that they're going to slip. They're going to have times because they're young. But right now, they are playing decent ball, well enough to win. Where is this game being played on Sunday? That is a big.
Well, this is the Monday night game this week.
On Monday, but where is it being played?
So I think that one is being played. I'm not for sure, but I'm thinking that it's going to be played at Green Bay.
Green Bay win.
Yeah. So, but I'm not for sure, but I think that it's in Green Bay.
Well, the fans that heard you now, you gave me wrong information. You take that loss. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the losses you did have to take. I know we're having fun here, and we're not trying to be nasty, but we got to get these picks in and get some things going. But we want to leave you guys with something happy, like maybe they'll win. We'll be back.
Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus Speakers Bureau offers you various opportunities to connect with former and current players along with Tony and the crew. For more information, go to redmagplus.com Speakers Bureau.
Frosted Flakes, good? They're great. Great.
They're still great, Grandpa.
See? Told ya.
They're great.
In Mad Mike with the Plus this week, the Washington Commanders earned the honor of the team with the largest passing differential in the NFL with a minus 701 points. They've given up 20 or more points in the last 4 games, and the last time the team did that was 1954. That was before Tony and I were born. Well, sort of. Washington Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels will not be in uniform in Madrid for the team's game against the Miami Dolphins. And the Bills are now 1.5 games behind the Patriots in the AFC East after laying an egg against Miami. Prognosticators still claim they could go deep in the playoffs, even as a wild card. I don't know. Did you see that game on Sunday? Was a little sauce all the Colts needed after sending 2 first-round picks to the New York Jets for all-pro cornerback Sauce Gardner? The Sauce was then asked to shadow wide receiver Drake London Sunday as the Colts beat Atlanta in overtime. The Colts are tied with the best record in the AFC at 8-2. More Sauce is going to be needed when they play KC. Are the Broncos and Bo Nix the real deal? They barely eked out a 10-7 win over the hapless Raiders. As poorly as Bo Nix played against the Rangers Sunday, he can put on a Superman cape whenever he has to. The Broncos have 4 fourth-quarter comebacks this season because Nix can pull a rabbit out of his hat. They've won 7 in a row, but that rabbit could be Welsh rabbit on toast when they face KC on Sunday. Ben Johnson and the Bears are now 6-3. Guess turning down the basketball folks in Washington turned out well for him in his first year as Chicago's head coach. The Bears have won 6 of their last 7 games, and this is the team that has not had a winning record since 2018. The Giants' Jackson Dart will be out a week or 2 with a concussion. Dart plays like his name, with reckless abandon, and has been in the tent the last several weeks more than any other NFL quarterback. Russell Wilson came in for mop-up duties this past Sunday, but my bet says Jameis Winston starts Sunday versus the Vikings. Head coach Brian Daboll was fired after going 2-8 in his 4th season with the Giants. Some thought with the tandem of Dart and Scatterbo that Daboll finally had something to work with. But honestly, Daboll charging into the tent to check on Dart, which resulted in a $100,000 fine, did not help his cause. I think Daniel Jones' success in Indy may have done even more to sully Daboll's reputation as a quarterback whisperer. For now, it appears the general manager Joe Schoen is safe. I mean, he did draft Dart and Scatterbo after all.
The team that let me down Sunday was Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers as they fell to the hapless Saints. Santa Claus is not coming to town for the 5-5 Panthers. They face the 49ers, Rams, Seahawks, and Bucks twice. So much for a winning record this season. Young will have some age on him when the season is over. Can I make one final prediction here? Houston quarterback Davis Mills will be the next second-team success story, just like Daniel Jones, Jared Goff, and Sam Darnold. Remember, he came into the league as an older rookie and showed some promise with a not-so-good Houston team. Sunday, he played in relief of injured C.J. Stroud and did as well as any quarterback this season. Keep an eye on this quarterback. And that's it for this week.
Well, we had a big discussion when time out that we had about 5 minutes or 10 minutes left. So I'm going to just kind of be quiet right now. But one thing I do have to say is there's so much parity in these teams now this year that we don't know who's going to win. Same thing with the picks. I know I should be at least 50 picks ahead of these guys. Don is pencil whooping everybody. But, hey, Don, I give it to you. Explain to us how you always pick after us.
I never pick after you all, Tony. My picks go in first. But guess what? It's heating up too, Tony, because right now, last week, we all did pretty good. You, myself, and Solomon went 4-1. Gary 3-2. Mike was good too last week also, Tony. But let's talk about some of these games that's taking place, Tony, because it's getting interesting. Because let's go right here, Tony. I'm giving this to you first. You got the Bucks at the Bills. The Bills, Tony, has fallen off in the last couple of weeks. They lose this past week. How do you see the Bills, Tony, playing the Bucks?
Well, the Bucks been lucky enough to spit in a swinging jug. So, they a lot of wins that they have ain't been real solid wins. The Bills needed that whooping so they can know they're not as good as they think they are. They said that they were the best and had the best quarterback this year, but the other teams were showing them that they're not. But they do have an edge. Quarterback's very good. They're up there in the snow, and this team now, they're injured. They're going to be tough. I picked them to win.
Hey, Mike Baker, the Bengals at the Steelers. The Steelers took one on the chin against the Chargers, and they got to bounce back because guess what? The Ravens all of a sudden has gotten their feet back in the race.
I would love to know what you writers think, because I looked at Aaron Rodgers in that game the other night, and I looked at his face. He just looked so disconnected and so aloof. But you know what my inside friends tell me about the Steelers that follow them all the time, and one is a writer. He says they got no offensive line. He has no protection. He has as little time as Jaden Daniels to throw the ball, and you've got to give him an opportunity. He's not quite as quick in the pocket anymore, but I still am not going to give up on Aaron Rodgers. I'm not. I'm going to go with the Steelers.
All right, I hear you, but Mike Jones, we got Seattle at the Rams. The Rams is probably the best team in football, but guess what? Seattle is right there through the back door. But how do you see these two teams?
I think that these are two of the most well-rounded teams. The one thing about the Rams, though, is they've got the stronger run game. They've got an offense that can basically beat you any way they want to. When you look at the Seahawks, yes, Sam Darnold's playing great. They've got a great passing attack. Their rushing attack is very inconsistent. Good defense, but they're not quite as well-rounded. I have the Rams being the best team of this matchup right here, and probably the best team in the NFC.
Okay, we talking the same language, but Solomon, the Chiefs at the Broncos, and the Broncos, man, they are surprising everybody. Well, how you see these two teams?
I mean, like Dad's saying, I feel like the Broncos are playing some very good brand of ball. But like Mr. Clark says, and I'm learning, I'm not going against Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's the whole thing, is like you got to realize sometimes it's just calling a spade, and I just got a feeling that he's going to show up again, and I feel like Taylor Swift's fiance is going to show up this game. So I got the Chiefs over the Broncos.
Oh,
Hey, Gary, I didn't give you that team because I would say the Bears for you against the Vikings. How do you see this matchup?
Bears ain't gonna do nothing.
That's Gary. Good on Tony. Oh, listen at you.
But Tony can answer for me if he likes, but I think, honestly, I think the Bears will win. Bears has been playing consistent enough to win the football game for sure. So, I mean, I'm going with the Bears, and, I usually go with the Vikings. I even went with the Broncos this time against the Chiefs because it's not the playoffs. If it's the playoffs, I go with the Chiefs, but it's not the playoffs, so I'm going
What?
with the
Gary went against the Chiefs? What?
I did.
He learned, Donna. You're the only one.
They're playing in
recording right now.
That's why.
Hey, Tony, but you know what? Because y'all are like giving me a headache, and Ricky Irvins has to come in here and whip y'all into shape because your thinking is off, Tony. So can we go hear a little bit of Ricky Irvins and what he got for us in store this week?
Well, he gonna have some picks for you or what?
I don't need none, Tony, because he's wearing me out, working me out.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next, Ricky?
For you, my lovely friend, we're going to work your forearms. And I like to call this going fishing. And you're doing this, rolling it up, all the way up, arms are straight. You're standing on this, and you drop it all the way down, then you go the other way.
What kind of craziness does Ricky got me doing
It's
that?
about these forearms, keeping them strong. We need these babies. And back down. This right here, from a 1 to 10 with pain, it's going to be a 10. So understand what's going down with you, all right? I got your weight on here too, so this weight is perfect for you. You will be fine. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get it. Go. There you go. There you go. Look at that. It's so easy, huh? All the way up and let it drop. Let it, yep. And go the other way now. Yeah. Wow, this is easy to you. Look at you, strong as an ox, man. Don't feel no pain. There you go, keep going, yep. Wow. All right, stop. Well, you're gonna feel it more on this one right here because your arm's a little bit fatigued.
Oh, they
all right,
are.
and go. There you go. Keep it straight. Go fast, come on. Get it, get it, get it.
You talking about going fast. How about just going enough to get it up?
Come on, get it, get it. All right, drop it. Now go the other way, yes. Twist. Yeah, I know, this sucker's hurt, man. Drop, again, come on.
Can this be over?
Look at the face, yeah. Yes, it truly hurt. Yeah. Here we go.
Oh, this way hurts worse.
Yeah. Come on. Come on. Yeah, one more. Come on, one more. You got 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Come on. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Johnny, I couldn't do it. It hurt so bad at the end.
Oh,
I tell you what, that was a good exercise. I'm gonna have to get over there with Ricky. And my son has been trying to train me, and he put me on some weights. And I know I had been injured, but I didn't know that 2 pounds would be too much. But at that, I'm coming back.
Hey, Tony, before we go, we have a couple minutes left. Can you talk about Donna going to Spain? And I'm sure Mike Jones is going to Spain. And
I'm not.
What they're going to be doing over there in terms of seeing the team and the little reports they're going to send us. It's pretty exciting, Donna. It really is, Mike. I hope you get to go too, Mike.
I wish I was. I'm not going to be going. They said Nikki. I won't be going though.
Okay.
But Donna, you're going to have to be our mouthpiece over there.
Yeah, Tony, we got all the latest and greatest things happening in Spain. The key thing is hopefully Commanders going up against the Dolphins come back with the win there. But I'll be out there with the boots on the grounds reporting back for Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus, Tony. All the latest, greatest things happening in Spain.
Well,
and
you know what?
No, Mike, I'm not bringing back any juice.
Amontillado. Tony, the famous wine is Amontillado. and that was Edgar Allan Poe. He wrote about it in the Cask of Amontillado. If the Commanders all have a toast of Amontillado when they're in Madrid, they will crush the Miami Dolphins.
Well, all we want them to do is go down there and get the boots back on the ground and out of their butts. So that's all we looking for. We don't want nothing else. But I tell you what, guys, good show. We're going to come back and kick it around again next week. Hopefully we can talk about they got a possibility. I'm going to just say, everybody said it one. Do you think they can still make the playoffs?
No.
Oh, don't get quiet on me. Yes.
We're running out of time.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Rick Walker from last week.
No, don't answer that. Anybody, it'll jinx them.
Well, we'll be back next week, y'all. And I'll tell you what, we'll be talking about a win. But one thing we know, we will not be winners if you don't come back. So we're not going to say goodbye. We say in
a minute.
Frosted Flakes good? They're great. Great.
They're still great, Grandpa.
See? Told ya.
They're great.